Today we will be performing a brake flush and tire rotation on a GMC Envoy. We will also be answering the questions: is brake fluid hydroscopic? What does hydroscopic mean? And do you rotate tires on all vehicles in the same order? For this service you will need the following: jack and jack stands, turkey baster,
Which is odd. Turkey baster, of course.
turkey baster, pickle jar, 3 quarts ACDelco .3 brake fluid, 1 or 2 quarts of cheap fluid, 19mm socket wrench, 10mm wrench, tire iron, bleeder valve hose, Wirebrush, Kroil or PBlaster, funnel, drain pan. Start off by popping the hood and sucking all brake fluid out of the master reservoir with turkey baster.
Sorry, say it again, I was laughing.
Make sure not to blow air into the fluid that can result in bubbles. In order to prevent this, squeeze and hold down the end of the turkey baster before submerging the tip into the fluid. This will allow the baster to suck out the fluid without introducing bubbles into the fluid.
Jonathan?
Here is a comparison of original brake fluid with 221,000 miles and 14 years old. Replace the brake fluid you removed with the turkey baster with new fluid. Do not fill past the max level. Start by braking the nuts on the rear 2 tires, and then jack the rear of the car. Continue by removing the tire that is furthest from the brake master cylinder. This will be the rear passenger tire. You start from the furthest bleeder valve and work your way forward in the following order: 1, 2, 3, 4. Some like to bleed the driver's side caliper first, as it is closest to the master cylinder. We will be doing it in an unorthodox order, as 4-wheel drive vehicles' tires need to be rotated front to back tires, stay on driver's side and passenger side, but swap with the front tire. Place 2 jack stands on both sides of the rear of the car. With the tire off, now is a good time to inspect sway bar end links. If the brakes have never bled on this vehicle, you may need to use Wirebrush and use penetrating oil on the bleeder valves. Place a 10mm wrench around the bleeder valve. Once the bleeder hose is on tight, crack the bleeder valve open and have the driver push down steadily on the brake pad. Once they push down all the way, turn the valve back to the close. Crack the valve open and repeat the process until brake fluid no longer drains after braking. Replace the brake fluid you removed with the bleeder valve. With new brake fluid, do not fill past the max level. The master brake cylinder needs to be refilled with new fluid throughout the bleeding process. Remove bleeder hose from valve and tighten each bleeder valve and reattach rubber cup when done. Remount the opposite tires after each rear brake is done and being bled. Continue bleeding the brakes and refilling the master cylinder with new brake fluid until the fluid coming out of the bleeder valve is clear.
That's right.
Okay, yeah, pump it. Okay, pump it again. 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 There you go. Pump it again.
Replace the brake fluid you removed with the bleeder valve. With new brake fluid, do not fill past the max level. The master brake cylinder needs to be refilled with new fluid throughout the bleeding process. Is brake fluid hydroscopic? Yes. What does hydroscopic mean? Hydroscopic means that something retains water, and this means your brake fluid will retain water within the brake lines. And the older the fluid gets, the more water you will have in your brake lines. The more water in your brake lines, the more your brake lines will rust out. Do you rotate tires on all vehicles in the same order? No. Four-wheel drive vehicles are recommended to have the tires rotated as shown in this image. The parts and prices are listed below. Warren Reviews saved a total of $141 on this repair.
Yeah, it didn't say much.
I like
After all the